265.
Good afternoon. It is super warm again today. I haven't really done much. I was supposed to run this morning, decided that I wanted to sleep in a little bit, so I didn't take a run, coached a class, worked out with a buddy. My legs are really tired, so I'm gonna run after this. As you can see in the first clip that I showed, about a year and a half into CrossFit, and maybe a few weeks since I arrived in Toronto. Like, I couldn't even clean 225, which, looking back now, why couldn't I even pick that up? Fast forward to about a year later, and I'm clean and jerking 245, and then even a couple months after that, clean and jerking 265, and then December 2019, I hit a big PR for me, which I cleaned 285. Nice. Talk about sort of just enjoying the process. So, as I said, I was a year and a half into CrossFit. I was relatively fit. I was a hockey player. I played high level racquetball, and you know, my fitness was there, but the strength wasn't entirely there yet. So it took me a long time to be able to clean those certain amount of weights. So it can get very frustrating and a little bit disappointing if you know, hit a good number one day, and then a couple months later you don't hit that same number, and you're like, what the hell is going on? But just trust the process, enjoy it, stick with it. It ends up being a lot of fun, as long as you surround yourself with like-minded people and you know, people that wanna push you and wanna see you do better. Luckily, all the coaches at the gym that I'm at right now are amazing people, really, really great athletes. And I remember one of the first workouts that I ever did with just the coaches. It was like a 21-15-9 calorie bike, power cleans and thrusters for 3 rounds or something. And I remember the clock started, and I hammered the bike and I got off probably about 10 seconds before everybody else. And then after that, I just straight down, not good at all. And I remember the head coach after the workout was like, oh man, like, you got off the bike so fast. And then, you know, the bike kicked in and everything else sucked. But I stuck with it. I kept training with them, and you know, eventually I got fitter and fitter, and you know, everything's not a competition, but it's nice to compete every now and again. So if you ever do get the chance to compete with other people, some of your friends, or in like a local competition or a bigger competition, or even just with yourself, you know, take that chance, take that opportunity, and enjoy it. You guessed it. It's a run day. It's hot out again. Fuck. But at least today there's a little bit of wind. We get some wings after. Just kidding, I won't. Yeah, run day. Week 2. So it's a 5-minute walk to start. Same as every other day. 6 rounds. Oh, shade. 6 rounds, minute and a half run, 2-minute walk. Interval style running, which is nice for me because I'm new at running. Yeah, look how nice it is down here. Oh, man, nice little downtown, CN Tower, this little patio. Busy today. Wow. Yeah. That's nice. Well, that was a tough run. So as I said, it was a 1.5-minute run, 2-minute walk right across. Almost lost my headphones. Tuck those bad boys in. So 1.5-minute run, 2-minute walk. But my pace was still pretty good. I was under a 4-minute kilometer every time I ran again, which was good. So I'm getting better. Ow! Ripped my pump sight off. That doesn't feel good at all. 4 runs in my shoes now. And I've had no issues ever since I took out the insole. I highly recommend these shoes. I am sitting on a very hot piece of rock right now. I'm gonna go upstairs, grab a protein, rip out what's left of this pump sight, maybe eat something. I just tested it, it was 11.1. It's a little high, but I had 3/4 of a banana before I went for a run. So that probably is what did it. And when I work out, my blood sugar goes high. So I'll wait for a little bit. If it doesn't come down, I'll take some insulin after I put in a new pump site. I'm exhausted today. My legs are heavy. It's hard to walk. Just tired. Just barely hanging on.
Oh, yeah, it sure is.
Ow! Now it's not anymore. If anybody's interested, that's what goes into my skin, that little guy right there. That's how I survive. What you don't know is that I'm filming. Sick hair, dude. So I have about 6 stretches that I like to do sort of daily or after I'm done my workouts, or you know, if I have a day off, usually after a workout, because they're all static stretches. And usually you want to do the dynamic stretches before you work out to warm up the muscles. And here are the stretches. The couch stretch. So I hold these stretches for 2 minutes per side. Hits the front of your quad, up into the hip flexor a little bit. So what you want to do sort of is you want to just kind of like squeeze your butt so you really get that good stretch in the front of your quad and into your hip flexor. The closer that your knee is to the wall or the bed or the couch or whatever your foot is elevated on, the more intense this stretch is going to be. The pigeon. This one is going to get sort of the outside of your hip, maybe into your quad a little bit, and then I get it a lot on the inside of my thigh. I have really tight hips, and this one again works really well for me. 2 minutes on each side again. The more that you can sort of get your front leg kind of parallel to your body, perpendicular to your body, the more intense this stretch is going to be. The bound angle. I like this one. It gets the inside of my hips, and I like to sit against something, so I'm sitting against like my bed right now. You sit against a wall though, that works really well too. The more that you push your knees down towards the ground, the more intense of the stretch you're gonna feel. The reason I like to sit against something is it just sort of keeps my back straight, so I'm not sort of like rounded over trying to get a good stretch on the inside of my hips. So again, 2 minutes here, just hang out, relax, take some nice deep breaths, just enjoy it. I don't know what this one's called. I just sort of open up my legs as much as I can, and then I try to, again, sit against something flat. But obviously the more straight up and down you keep your back, And the more that you lean forwards, the more intense of a stretch you're gonna get on the insides of like your hamstrings or in your groin. Right, so again, we just sort of want to prevent that like rounding of the back and trying to reach and get really, really far. So sit up nice and tall and like slowly pull your way forwards. Again, 2 minutes here. So from down here, I like to just pull my knee up to my chest. The opposite side, right? Really good stretch for the outside of your hips. Hold again here for 2 minutes. And I have really tight hips, so any of these outside of the hip, inside of the hip ones are really good for me. But the more that you press your knee down towards the ground and the more that you pull it up to your chest, the more intense of a stretch you're gonna get. So those are some of the stretches that I'll do. Like I said, after I'm done a workout or on a day off when it's just sort of mobility stuff. I hope you guys like it. Try it out, see how they feel for you. Just find some sticky spots and those are the spots that you need to stretch more. So good luck with it. Enjoy.